Welcome back to the New Music Alliance Radio Hour. I'm Violet Hausthor, joined this week by Mistress Miriam. You just heard Syncopated Love by Rahni Harris and Family Love. Before that, You, Me, Us, and Mexico by Laini the Wildfire. And starting off that block, Fabled by the Mage by Matt Pacheco. Ooh, that's some fun tunes. Let's start things off.
Syncopated Love.
Syncopated Love.
Hartford, Connecticut.
Rahni Harris is an interesting figure, but it's so good, though. This is like that perfect blending of R&B and gospel of the time, because this came out back in 77, actually.
I mean, this is the real deal. The first time I heard it, I'm like, where did this come from? And from Hartford, I mean, this is the real deal of R&B, and wow.
Yeah, it is classic. So Rahni Harris, back in 77, East Hartford, Connecticut, right? He was a 21-year-old reverend and multi-instrumentalist, and he assembled a band called Family Love to help combine R&B and gospel, and they laid down this album called A Different Drummer, which this is off of, which is an excellent record throughout. It got a lot of acclaim for how it merged the two genres together that are often very disparate. However, Rahni Harris is better known as Ronnie Song, an award-winning producer, songwriter, and engineer. He's done work for artists like Bootsy Collins, done work with George Clinton, Freddie Jackson. He's done a bunch of gospel and R&B work over the course of his illustrious career, as well as working on the scores for a bunch of films and TV shows. He is a major name.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, I know. It surprised me when I found out about it, too.
You know, some of these people, too, they're like huge producers, and they do this and that, but then like you find their music, like their early music.
Yeah, this was the early stuff, and it's so good.
It's fantastic.
It's got such a good groove, I know. So good. The whole record's excellent. Definitely a classic of 70s R&B.
And before, we had Laini and the Wildfire, You, Me, Us, and Mexico.
Now, this is a brand new single out of Laini and the Wildfire. They're from New Haven, Connecticut. This was just released a couple weeks ago, actually, and it has some really cool influences. Like, I hear those soul influences there, but I also hear like a power pop twist on things. They often delve into a power pop direction, but this one really wears it on its sleeve, and just, I don't know, it's so good. It's so fun. It really makes me want to dance.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good. It gets into the pop. It even gets, I hate to say it, you know, because I'm like jazz hands a little bit. It gets sort of into that little theater sort of sound.
No, I hear it. It's got that modern Broadway twist.
Like a modern Broadway twist. Just great. And they're going to be playing everybody at the Big E. You can catch them on September 28th.
Going to be a good show, I'm sure. They're pretty excellent. We played them on the show before many times, and they're still just putting out incredible tunes. So much fun. Love these guys.
This one is great. Go see this show.
And then starting off, we had Matt Pacheco out of New Haven, Connecticut, Fabled by the Mage, which is just, that's delightful.
It is so great. You know, I have to say that this reminds me, and this is strange, Want One, the album by Rufus Wainwright. It sounds so similar. I mean, this is kind of a very like strange connection. It is produced in a very similar way. The sound is very similar.
No, I get what you're coming from here. This, some of the keyboard flourishes, the compositional style, the production, it all reminds me a lot of like 60s and early 70s prog and psychedelic and stuff like that. Like The Doors had a bunch of that style of production. Gentle Giant had a bunch of that style. Maybe Emerson, Lake and Palmer on their more quiet stuff. That sort of flair, that sort of edge to them that just makes me adore it.
It's off the album World of Desire, which makes sense.
Yeah, just came out a couple weeks ago. Excellent album. It's just so fun and unique and delightful. Now, Matt is a remarkably prolific keyboardist and pianist. He's released a pretty massive amount of music over the last few years and played in quite a number of local acts here and there. Definitely a talent to keep an eye on. If you want a lot of new music, he's probably someone to keep listening to.
Well, I'm definitely going to keep listening to it. This is really dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
It's lovely stuff. So next we have a couple of really cool jazz tunes. We're going to be starting things off with Nicole Sutka with Things.